I read 6 books in November, so here's my monthly wrap-up. I started by reading Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehra. I will say I liked this book slightly less than the first book, but it was still ridiculously fun to read. The plot got really interesting in this book, and the found family had me so invested in this book. The slow burn and the small interactions were frustrating, but in the best way possible. Next, I read Glow by Raven Kennedy. It was so crazy reading this book after reading the ending of Gleam. The stakes were so high and I was here for it. The ending had me almost teary-eyed and my jaw was on the floor. I just love the main characters and the found family so much in this book. However, I do think it was slightly less addictive than books 2 and 3 because it was a bit long for me, even though I do usually love long books. Then I read Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas. This is the best example of what I now call the Sarah J Maas effect. I mean, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight and The Assassin's Blade were really good and I loved them, but Heir of Fire was on a whole new level, and I assume it's only going to get better in this series. I am so obsessed with all of her characters. I love Aelin, and the plot in the series always has me in a chokehold. I have no words for how connected I feel to these characters, and even though I love ACOTAR so much, there's still a slight possibility that when I finish this series, I might like Throne of Glass more than ACOTAR. Next, I read A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas as well. This was a really fun little novella. I just love being back in the world and with these characters, but since it was so short, I think it was nothing world-changing, but it does make me really curious about Nesta, and I need to read A Court of Silver Flames. Next, I read Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This was relatively similar to A Court of Frost and Starlight. I love this world so much, and I just love getting a sneak peek at where our characters are now, and the plot was really fun too, but it was still quite a small novella and nothing world-changing. Then I read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. I was so scared to read this book, but in my opinion, it really lived up to the first book. The political intrigue was crazy and I was here for it. The plot had me so addicted. I really love this world, and the author's more magical take on vampires is so interesting to me. I just love Rain and Araya's dynamic. This is one of the best enemies to lovers I have read. Lastly, I read about 3/4 of Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This book was so much fun. I loved James and had to tab almost everything that he said. Their chemistry was so good. However, while the plot was fun, I was definitely more there for the romance. My top books of the month were definitely The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King and Heir of Fire, and they were both 5 stars for me.